Hey everyone, this is a special bonus video. I hope you enjoyed Dirty Harry that finally finished up yesterday. I apologize for why it was so delayed, and I had lots of sound issues. I had to re-upload the first part a few times, but I think I figured out most of those problems, especially the ghost frame issue, whatever that really was. I'm not sure still, but that's finally fixed, I think. So all my future videos, including Cliffhanger, coming up this Monday. And then for the rest of July, it's going to be Mad Max, followed by Platoon, followed by Cool World, and that'll end my summer of blockbuster movie games. So I'm sure you're probably wondering, though, what I'm going to be doing for August. I thought about this about 2 weeks ago or so. I decided what games I'm going to do. I started working on them to see if it would be plausible to be able to get a good run done for August, and I think they're all going to be able to get done. All these games have been requested at least 1 or 2 times, most of them more than that. But I have decided what games I'm going to do in August. So the first game I'm doing in August is Dragon Spirit. Dragon Spirit is a vertical shooter, similar to Xanac, going from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, shooting everything in your path. In Dragon Spirit, you actually play as a dragon. Your guy uses a sword and he transforms into a dragon. You actually can get power-ups like multiple heads and different types of blasts. You can actually have 2 little baby dragons fly along with you, which is easily my favorite power-up in the game. It allows me to get through some narrow places pretty easily without taking any damage. It's also one of those ones where you don't die in 1 hit. You actually do have a health bar, even though it's only 3 hits. At least you still have that, so I can use that greatly to my advantage, and there's a few times where you actually can get health for it, so that helps out a lot. It's one of my favorite shooters on the NES, along with Xanac and then some of the other horizontal ones, like Life Force and Abadox, for example, which is actually both types of shooters. But Dragon Spirit's going to be a pretty good run. I've had a couple requests for it, so I think this one will turn out pretty well. Okay, after Dragon Spirit is going to be the Jaleco classic Shatterhand. Shatterhand is a side-scrolling action game where you actually use your fist as your main weapon. You also collect different symbols, alpha or beta symbols. And when you get 3 of them, whatever combination of 3 you get a certain robot. If you get that same 3 again, you end up turning into a robot yourself, and you can destroy things. When you just get 3 of them the first time, you get a little robot companion that does different things. Some obviously are better than others, but they help you out for a little bit. They also take damage, and once they get hit a few times, they end up going away. So you have to be really quick to get that ultimate power-up. So that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's pretty cool. Plus, there's a money system in the game where you buy health upgrades throughout the levels, as well as power upgrades. They only last a couple hits, so if you get hit a few times, you end up losing the power upgrade, but it's still a pretty cool system. Bosses are pretty cool. It's not an overly difficult game, but it's definitely fun to play if you've never played it. Now, probably the most popular game that I'm doing in August, I've had a bunch of requests for it. I'm going to do River City Ransom. River City Ransom, if you've never played it before, is actually part of a long series of games that also includes the Nintendo World Cup, Super Dodgeball. They also had a hockey game and a basketball game for the NES, as well as some other beat-em-ups that came out mainly only in Japan. The artwork and characters have a unique design to them, they're distinctive, that as soon as you see them you know that it's part of that series. The game's great. It's a classic beat-em-up. It's just one of those things where you're going to save your girlfriend, but it's linear in a way, but it's also non-linear in terms of trying to find your right path, as well as you have to backtrack sometimes to find different gang bosses in order to take them out. Every time you defeat an enemy, you also get some money. There's plenty of weapons laying around to use. You can use the money to buy either just health upgrades, as well as new moves that you can unlock, different things to improve your strength and your stamina, and all kinds of different stats similar to an RPG style system. Because it does have the money system and the RPG system, for the run of the game, I'm going to try to make it as clean-cut as possible. I'm going to do a little bit of grinding to get some money. I'll show off all the shops, including the secret shop, if you don't know where that is, but I'm sure if you played the game ever before, you know where that is. I'm going to buy at least 1 item from that, which I'll probably buy the defense upgrade, which gives me 100 extra defense. And I probably will be using weapons throughout most of it. I find weapons pretty much easier to do, and I will make sure that I get at least 3 of the moves. I'm going to get the upgraded punch move, where you punch 3 times in a row, upgraded kick, which is the same thing but with kicks, and then finally the weapon one, which allows you to hit 3 times in a row with a weapon, which just decimates everything on screen. Also, since I am doing River City Ransom, I'm actually going to do the game that came out before it, its predecessor, which is Renegade. I actually did a run of Renegade on my old account, but I never re-uploaded it. So I'm actually just going to redo the video. It's going to be really quick, just like a 10-minute run is all it takes to actually beat Renegade. But I figured since I am doing River City Ransom, I might as well do the first one in the series as well. And don't worry, there's lots of other games with those characters I'm going to do in the future, including probably runs of Super Dodgeball, probably the hockey one, basketball one, and Nintendo World Cup, just kind of little extra ones. I'll throw them in from time to time. And the last game I'm going to be doing in August is Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. This game is probably one of the best looking NES games that ever came out. I don't know, something about it. The expressions on the characters, the overall graphic style, everything looks great in it. It has good music, the action's good. It's just a side-scrolling action game. You have a few different moves that you can get that are very easy to pull off, but it's basically just an up and the attack button, and you get a limited amount of them, so they can change the flow of different boss battles. But for the most part, the normal enemies are just defeated with simple moves. It's just a great overall game. Never played it before, I definitely would check that one out as well. So that's everything I'm doing in the month of August. To be honest, I still haven't quite figured out what I'm doing in September yet. I did mention a couple months ago that I was thinking about doing the first couple of Yeast games. Probably just 1 and 2 and maybe 3, which is my favorite. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to do those ones yet. I'm going to see how runs are going to do. If I do them, I'll definitely cut out all my grinding and stuff like that. So I'll try to keep it as quick and short as possible. Just showing all the actual storyline and all the actual like dungeons and stuff like that. But I'm not positive if I'm going to be able to do those yet. And while I still haven't decided what I'm doing in September fully yet, I have decided actually what I'm doing in October. I know it's still a little ways off from October, but I have decided at least one series that I'm going to be doing in October, because it is the horror month, and I have decided I'm going to actually knock out all 4 of the games in this one series in one fell swoop, do them all in October, all great runs. Already started working on a few of them, and they're going to be pretty good. I'm really good at these games. I love them. They're classic. I'm going to be doing the entire Splatterhouse series. And since it is October, and last year I think I did a pretty good amount of games in the month of October, I plan on having actually some more games I'm going to do in October, including 2 more Castlevania games. Now, I don't want to do a ton more. I didn't want to do a ton more Castlevania games, but I want to at least do 2 more. And the ones I've actually decided to do are I'm going to finally finish up the NES trilogy of Castlevania games, and I'm going to do Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. This is one of my all-time favorite games, one of the best Castlevania games ever made, easily the best one that was on the NES. I have beaten this game an absolute ton. It's one of those ones where I can just place it in my system at any time and probably run through it very easily, so I've been looking forward to doing this. I'm also going to do something fun in terms of actually getting, you guys involved with it, deciding what character I'm actually going to get in the game. But I'm not going to be doing that yet, so don't vote yet. I'll probably be doing that in the middle of August. But, if you have a personal favor or you debate which ones you'd rather see me do, think about it. Like I said, middle of August we'll decide what one I'm going to get. I'm also going to be doing Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy, the second of the Game Boy games, as well in October, and one more other game in October, but I'll decide what that's going to be, and I'll talk about that another time. I also have one announcement to make as well. Coming up on Friday, July 10th, I'm actually going to be a part of the Returners Gaming. They're doing another marathon. This time they are doing classic RPGs, including Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and a few other ones. A bunch of classic RPGs, including Super Mario RPG as well, I know. I won't be playing a game in this marathon. I may be playing one in a future Returners Gaming marathon. But basically, they play games. If you ever see the Speed Gamers marathons, they play games. People donate. You can chat in the chat room. Someone is always there doing live commentary along with the gameplay going on another feed. So you have 2 different feeds going. One of the gameplay and one of the person talking. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing commentating for them. I'm actually going to be doing it for a 3-hour block, it looks like. If the time changes, I'll let you know. But it looks like it's going to be from 9 o'clock p.m. to 12 midnight and that's Eastern Time. That's Eastern Standard Time on July 10th. So if you've never checked out one of these marathons before, I think I'm going to be doing commentary during a Chrono Trigger run. So come check that out, come to the chat room. I'm going to have the link to the webpage in the side here. I'll also probably do another announcement right before I start doing commentary on July 10th. That's 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. So, everyone who's subscribed to me, watches these bonus videos, if you've ever watched all my videos before, just started watching whatever, everyone's asked me a question or two, what's my favorite this, or what's my favorite that in terms of gaming, or just anything ever. I can use this time to do a Q&A along with doing commentary for the Returners Gaming Marathon, so it can be something really cool. Even if you're not interested in the gameplay, you can at least come in the chat room, say hi, whatever. You do need to register, I think it's with Ustream, to have an account to get into the chat room, just so we don't have a lot of people just, running into the chat room, spamming real quick, and then leaving. So you have to be signed up for an account, but still, come check it out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.